And what can a person experience? What does a person experience or gain by taking these remedies?
What I notice is the biggest experience is they begin to get relief from the rapidity of their mental emotional symptoms like fear and anxiety and depression. And what that feels like inside of them, and I've taken these and I continue to take them because I use them as a main transformational tool for myself, is the one comment I get from people is, I feel like myself. And my deepest motivation in doing this work, and I've made it really the core of my life in my healing work, is to do this work, is to assist people to come back to their natural self, to come back to that place inside of them where they're comfortable with themselves, they're comfortable with who they are, they're comfortable with their own abilities, and they feel excited about who they are and their own existence, and they don't feel hampered by feelings of inadequacy and deep anxieties, and they feel like they can cope in a much deeper way with whatever their life is about and whatever they want to create. And they also feel more deeply their creativity and their ability to manifest the life that wants to come forth, their dreams, their visions. And so that's what's exciting to me. And so when I hear someone say, I feel like myself, I feel like I'm not stuck anymore, I feel like I'm not suffering the way I was, to me, they're coming into themselves in a beautiful way. And that's how I know it works. You can't fake it. You know, it's very result-oriented and very pragmatic. You know, you can tell if it works because the person's going to feel it. And so the entrance point into this work is to dive into the feelings and to restore one's ability to deeply feel their feelings, process them in a healthy way, and again, return back to themselves.
I love that terminology that you're using, your natural self.
Yeah.
You know, what a wonderful thing. Just even hearing that word, coming back to your natural self, I feel my body relax. You know, coming into one's natural self.
Yeah.
You know?
And what's so powerful about that is that that's unique for each person. This isn't about finding some way to be. This is about being itself, being oneself. And it's the freedom from feeling conditioned, from the shoulds, the have-tos, the ought-tos. I should be this way, I should think this way, I should feel this way. It's freedom from all of that and just being who we are with whatever the feelings are, allowing them to arise, and feeling our natural ability to be with that and to be creative with it in our lives and not burdened by it or overwhelmed by it. And so it's for me, it's about freedom. It's what I've always longed for. And so it's no surprise to me that this is what I'm ending up doing in natural healing, is supporting people to experience greater inner freedom.
Tremendous, tremendous stuff. You might have addressed this already, but what transpires when someone comes to you for a session? I mean, what does it look like? I mean, you know, somebody, what actually happens?
Well, what actually happens is we sit down, and the first thing I ask someone is, why are you here? What do you want assistance with? What would you like to transform in your life that is troublesome or difficult for you? And that launches them into really talking about what that is for them. And then it's time for me just to listen and ask questions as the need arises. And I follow them. And it's a great joy for me. What's beautiful is it's fresh for me. Each session is different because I'm getting to experience this unique individual and their own process, their own life, and how they're expressing it. And so for me, it's never boring because it's always alive. And it's always different. And we just each have our own unique story and our own unique experience. And so I am privileged and get to explore that with them.
Yeah, well, again, I've experienced that with you and working with you, is that when you're talking with someone, you really bring that out in someone. And what a wonderful thing to bring out that the true you, the true essence. And people feel very comfortable, and they are very willing to go deep with you. You know, I've experienced that, you know, because I've taken these remedies. They're wonderful. I personally recommend them. And my experience coming to you is that you elicit going to a really deep place within because you're trusting that place, because you inherently do trust that what a person needs to speak, or that it's going to come, and you're trusting in that elicits it, and it comes out. And sometimes I found myself getting in touch with things that I'm surprised myself. It's like, So this is wonderful.
Yeah, it's a great. It allows me to do something I've always wanted to do and use all my skills to bear in the situation. And I want to mention that the other thing that I do with the remedies is not all about taking the remedy. The remedy is a catalyst within an individual. It assists them to reach deep inside and bring out the finest in them, to bring out the deepest in them, their own innate healing power. The remedies do not heal. They support the body to catalyze and awaken the natural healing within us. But the other thing that I include with this is that when people take the remedies, I also ask them to invoke, whether verbally or silently, the change they're trying to bring into their lives, so that they are consciously invoking it into their world and creating it in their world. And so that there is a full cooperation between the conscious mind and the subconscious, which is where the remedies are working on. The remedies are working on the subterranean part of our being. They're working on the subconscious that we're not always in touch with, or we might feel just one part of it. And so that's the beauty of them, is that they can reach vibrationally and touch and stimulate those parts of our being. But the idea here is to heal on all levels, to transform on all levels.
So one of the important factors of it is to bring what's subconscious, bring it more to consciousness level.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that we are able to know what we're dealing with. So that there's an integration between the subconscious and conscious mind, so that when we invoke something in our world, when we think about, I want to create this in my world, that there is an agreement and a confluence between the subconscious and the conscious mind, so that it'll actually manifest. One of the biggest problems people have is they'll invoke from their conscious mind, but it doesn't happen for them. The reason for that, in my understanding, is because their subconscious is programmed in a different direction, and it's not in alignment with what you're consciously trying to create. So we're trying to create an integration through all parts of our being and world. And I have noticed with the taking of the remedies and invocation, and just the deepest importance is just the feeling of deep intention of wanting to create it begins to bring it into one's world. And so it really, in my experience, increases one's ability to really manifest and create what they want to create in their world, and make their life richer and deeper and more expanded, and also to be in touch with the incredible potential of what it is to be a human being, and to enact that in their world, and not just be a pipe dream or a want or a desire, but one actually becomes more masterful in their ability to direct their life in a most beautiful way, and to connect with the soul force that is actually creating it and is actually inspiring them to create it. So part of this process is also surrendering to the natural soul force, the natural divine part of our being, which is actually living this life, and having it all meet up and join in a beautiful synchronicity.